Yes.
No.
Like orange
no,
lollies
no.
and like orange ice lollies.
Why'd you point at me? Why the fuck did you point at me? I didn't say anything. Did you guys catch that slam?
One of the largest creators in the anime community that is friends with a ton of huge content creators outside of the anime community, including Ludwig and Hassan Piker, is openly attracted to children and nobody talks about it.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is the Anime Man. Welcome to another episode of Anime Senpai.
The Anime Man has been a YouTuber for over a decade, and most of the stuff I see people bring up about him are like his new stuff, like the anime tourist video he did. Every once in a while I see people bring up the entire lolly defending video he did, and I don't even think that's the worst of it. If you look back in his content far enough, he was outwardly and openly into lolly.
How many lollies are too many? How dare you? You can never have too many lollies. When you finally create Neko girls, I have a specific one to adopt from you. I need a lolly, brown-haired, yandere/tsundere, so you want Azuki. Unfortunately, I can't do that because Azuki is mine, bitch.
The Anime Man's ultimate waifu tier list makeup. Alright, Isaka Tiger from Toradora. You know, I do like me some Kugi Miyarie, but I just can't get over the tsunderes, bro. But it does kind of balance out with the whole lolly aspect, so I'm gonna drop you into a C. Mio from K-On! I love me my Mio. I love that she just rocks out on that base, and you know, she's fucking adorable, so I'm going hard A on Mio. I can fuck with the K-On! Girls, and I can fuck with the K-On! Girls. Beatrice, my waifu from ReZero. Yeah, you're getting an S treatment right there. Beatrice, best character in ReZero. Okay, Hatsukuji Mayoi from the Monogatari series. Now, obviously, Monogatari series is full of them beautiful waifus. That's Chino from Gochusa. She's really the only character I'm aware of, so I'm gonna put you into a C because you're not a terrible waifu. I just don't think you'd be up there as a waifu. Yami from Palaver, man. Palaver has such a soft spot for me, dude. But she's not my all-time favorite character. As much as I love Yami, not my all-time favorite character. So I'm gonna have to just slide you into an A. Kurihara Mirai from Chokai no Kanata. I do like her as a character, very much so, and she is definitely a protect kind of waifu. So I'm putting you in that A tier, boy. Okay, I think that's Kyoka from Bungo Stray Dogs. I really liked her as a character. She's cool. She's supportive. She takes care of you, and she's just cute and protective. You know what? Good tier waifu. I'm putting you in A. Megumin, S. No questions. That's Devil Luke from Talaveru. S. Hell yes. Momo, my favorite girl in Talaveru. Holy shit. Ononoki Yotsugi. Now, is she waifu or is she just a fucking cool character? I have to figure that out in my head before I can rate her. I guess she's more of just a cool character rather than a waifu, so I'll put you in B. Yeah, this right here. I mean, I wish there was another category for it, but I'll put you at the front of S because you deserve it, Shinobu. I love you.
By the way, the profile picture he has on his second channel is a picture of him hugging this 8-year-old. So, that's pretty disgusting.
Single-san. Okay, I think this is one of the newest ones on this list in terms of the time that I'm filming this video. I do like Single-san. She's fucking house waifu as fuck, so I'll put you in an A.
A lot of people who are like, I love this character, therefore I want to see them get digged down.
I get it, but I don't follow it.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna watch my girl
because
get
that's why
digged
that's why I fucking love Sword Art Online or emo Love Live hentai because I don't care.
For those of you who are unaware, Orimo, otherwise known as My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute, the age range in that show is anywhere from 16 to 10. And Love Life is pretty similar, the ages cap out at 17 and they go all the way down to 12, and he just admitted to watching copious amounts of hentai of both of those. I think that's enough to say that he isn't trying to hide the fact that he is attracted to lolly. The problem is that exposing him for this behavior is not going to affect him super hard whenever he is actively and openly defending this behavior.
I know what you're thinking about already. You're probably thinking, Joey, this is fucking stupid. We have to protect the lollies waifus. And yeah, you're right. Because truth be told, I don't give a flying fuck what you beat your meat to in the middle of the night in your room in your own privacy, because getting rid of lollies and shotos in anime, manga, doujinshis, and hentai, which is essentially, fiction, shockingly isn't gonna get rid of people having fucked up thoughts and sexual attractions like that.
Let's take this one point at a time. What these people are saying when they make this argument that they don't think the government should be involved in what you jerk off to at night, it's I agree with that on face value, but if you think about what they're implying with the context of it being about lolly, they are implying that if it worked the way they wanted it to, they would be completely okay with someone who jerks off to lolly hentai going and becoming a teacher, going and becoming a babysitter, going and becoming, God forbid, a parent. And at least for me, I feel I don't think if you jerk off to this or you get off to these images of drawn children, I don't think you should be allowed to even have the opportunity to be in the position of power over a child. My argument is not that banning this is going to stop pedophiles from existing. Nobody thinks that. That's really the only point I really wanted to respond to. The rest of this shit is just like, it's slippery slope. It's like, if we ban child porn, all anime is gonna be banned next. You can't even look at this picture of a kid.
Me and you sitting here looking at this image could possibly get us arrested. The manga and anime industry is just as in danger because they still are showing lolis and shotas in some respect. And let's be honest, do you really think that the United Nations is going to give a fuck about the difference between lolis and shotas in anime and manga versus hentai and doujins? Like Comic-Con, one of the biggest comic markets and festivals in the entire world, gone. Your favorite anime convention in your local area, gone. The jobs and livelihoods of hundreds and thousands of voice actors, artists, authors, directors, producers, writers, and publishers, gone. If you say went to Japan, bought a first volume of No Game No Life, and bring it back to your country and they found you with that, your ass is going to jail. How fucked up is that?
And oh my god, will he not stop mentioning George Orwell's 1984?
What the United Nations are trying to do essentially in this situation is a little thing called thought policing. Like, this is some straight up like George Orwellian 1984 shit, my dude. Like, I don't know if the people at the United Nations realize that George Orwell's 1984 is, you know, a kind of satire about like how the politically and like morally and ethically fucked up the world is going to get. Basically, it's going to fall into an apocalypse if people try to control other people's thoughts and over controlling what everybody thinks and does in the world. Because let's do the maths here. Fictional lolitas and shotas plus thought policing equals international peace and security by the United Nations. Does not compute, bitch!
Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining, government.
Joey, what if this protocol actually does pass and you're wrong about everything you said in this video? Then, well, all I can say is I hope you've caught up on your George Orwell.
A lot of his other arguments are like, yeah, I might be watching child porn, but there are people like dying in Iran or something.
If they're putting the banning of lolis and shotas over something like, I don't know, the fact that British gangs are abusing the anti-slavery laws by creating child drug mules, or the fact that they're prioritizing getting rid of video games that have sexual violence against women, against, I don't know, honor killings in the Middle East.
He brings these things up like two bad things can't exist simultaneously and both require regulation. Like it's either one or the other. Later on in the same video, I think he brings up a pretty interesting point.
Yet, after all of that bullshittery, I guarantee that the people at the UN are just gonna lean back on their way too incredibly expensive armchair with a hot cup of tea, sipping it ever so elegantly while they read a good book. And no, I'm not talking about that disgusting loli and shota manga and anime, doujinshi and hentai. What are you, fucked up in the head? No, I'm talking about some classical literature, some absolute masterpieces of modern literature. Something sophisticated, something elegant, something that will aid towards international peace and security. You know, like Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita. A sophisticated and sanitary story about a doctor falling in love with a 12-year-old girl to the point where he becomes her stepfather and starts to have sexual attractions and starts to basically have sexual acts with a 12-year-old. Classic literature.
He's obviously being sarcastic, but I think he makes a good point. It would be incredibly weird to sit back and enjoy a piece of fiction about a guy who becomes a stepfather to a child and then becomes sexually attracted to the child. I 100% agree. That would be incredibly weird. Listen to Me, Girls, I'm Your Father is an anime about a college student who randomly finds himself as the stepfather of 3 young children. I haven't seen this anime and I wouldn't suggest you go look for it, but from all the reviews, even the gooners who decided to watch it have complained about it having too much fan service. Fan service being sexualization of the female characters to appeal to horny fans. Which female characters do you think are being sexualized in this show? Yup, you're right. It's the kids. I mentioned the reviews earlier, and I thought this review was pretty interesting. If you read my top 10 cutest anime heroines of all time, then you would be aware that a character from this series, Hina, is at the number 1 place. I'm not going to lie, but I think Hina is the character that makes this series. Although the other characters that make appearance in this anime are all adorable in their own right, I think Hina is number 1 character in this series. It might just be me, I don't know. Either way, the series is a lighthearted, dramatic at times slice of life that is sure to get a laugh out of you at one point or another. If you like those kinds of laid-back series, then I recommend this anime a go. You never know, you might end up being a Hina fan as well. Recommendation level 3 out of 5. Recommended. Final score 6.5 out of 10. Wow, what a glowing review for such a weird anime. I wonder who wrote this. Oh. Oh no.